Hi, this is Dr. Michelle Robin with Small Changes, Big Shifts, Building Rhythm and Resilience. And I believe if you'll change one thing a month, one thing for the next 12 months, you'll change your life forever. Thanks for joining me on the journey. So today I've got a special show with my Wellness Consortium sisters today. We have some brothers in there too, but my sisters today. And I wanted to share with you about this very fun movement going along in Kansas City and some exciting things coming up. So I'm going to share with you a vision, and then I'm going to introduce these ladies and how they play into that. So many of you know that I love wellness, and I'm on a mission to reach 1 billion people that small changes can lead to big shifts, especially for our kids. And through our foundation, the Big Shifts Foundation, our goal is to impact kids 5 to 30 to make generational change through whole person health. And hopefully, if you've been listening to the show, you kind of get an idea what whole person health is. And what I do know from my own personal experience, that I made generational change in my own family because of this lifestyle. And so when we think about the Big Shifts Foundation making these generational changes, it's important to have providers you can go to. So about 6 years ago, 2014, I guess that's 6 years ago, some of us started coming together to build community. And I know for myself that if it's convenient for me, I'm better at self-care. So today's Wednesday, and this is one of my self-care day. Not only do I get a chance to do a couple podcasts today, do some of the other work I need to do besides getting to take care of my fabulous clients, but today is also self-care. So I've got to see my fabulous dentist, Dr. John Humphreys, and I actually got adjusted by one of my mentees, Dr. Angela Rossi, who lives a mile from my house, or works a mile from my house. How great is that? And then also just had a fabulous massage from Heather Harris, who's also about 1.1 miles from my house. So what I do know is it's easy when it's convenient for you. And you would say, Michelle, you are at a wellness center. I just want you to know I did get acupuncture on Monday from the fabulous Shemaine Tate. And I also got adjusted from my pal, Dr. Georgia Abbott, your wellness connection yesterday, because I happened to take a little tumble down the stairs. So I want you to know that I believe in order for you to live this lifestyle, it's got to be convenient for you. And so we started these wellness consortiums so that you could have community within your own backyard. So today joining me is 3 wellness consortium champion leaders. They're champions in their own right, but I'm so grateful that they have invested the time and energy and help us build community where they're at. So I'll start by introducing one down the street, kind of in my hood, because I live just south of Prairie Village, kind of on the cusp of Prairie Village and Overland Park. I don't know what it's about me. My office is on the Shawnee Mission, Overland Park, and Merriam, and I am at the corner of Overland Park and Prairie Village, where I personally live. So Dr. Jess Loveless, thanks for joining me today. You're the champion leader, along with Dr. Maria Bello, who runs the Wellness Consortium in the Prairie Village, Brookside area. So what's your story?
Well, I opened my own practice about 3 years ago. I'm a chiropractor, but I also do functional medicine, nutrition, and acupuncture. I will have my master's in functional medicine, hopefully by 2020. Well, not hopefully, in 2021, I will. I am one class away, so I'm excited to have that master's. I feel like it's given me a huge step above a lot of people. Well, I shouldn't even say that. It's given me it's given me a lot of boost and confidence and assisting my patients. So my goal is to help people find the root cause of their issues, help people be their best selves, and learn how to balance some of the things that are stressors in their life, get some sleep, and eat healthy.
Well, it's so funny. I was doing a podcast today for one of your new members, Dawn and Kerri, Dr. Ann Morgan. Have you guys met Dr. Ann Morgan yet?
Yeah, well, virtually, yes.
She's one of my new fast friends, and I did a podcast for her today, and we were talking about this whole person health lifestyle. And Dr. Jess, you're a chiropractor by training, and Dr. Kerri, you're a chiropractor as well. And she said, you're so much more than chiropractor. I want to say, you know what? The real deal is chiropractors always believed in the 3 T's: traumas, thoughts, and toxins. So the philosophy was whole person health. And then we came along in the 80s and wanted to be in insurance. In order to be in insurance, we had to go towards more mechanical. I'm not sure if you ladies know that.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm aging myself now. Dr. Jess, I'm so proud of you for continuing to be passionate about whole person health, looking at it mechanically, chemically, energetically, and psychospiritually. Dr. Jess, why did you become a chiropractor in the first place?
I actually just wanted to help people feel better. I knew from my background that I was having trouble with medicinal healthcare, and I needed something else to find naturally. And chiropractic kind of fell in my lap. And once I got into chiropractic school, there were so many avenues to specialize in. And that's where the functional medicine came in. So chiropractic is my bread and butter. And it definitely has played a huge role in not only changing my life, but also helping me change other people's lives.
Yeah, so Sharice is asking, there's three things. Yeah, and Elizabeth put in there. Thanks, Elizabeth. I love that. I don't know, Elizabeth, I think we've met once before, so I'm not going to go there. But so Dr. Jess, I think if I remember right, don't you have a medical doctor in your family?
I do. My father is a medical doctor. So I did not get adjusted until I think the same month that I decided to go to chiropractic school. So they kind of came together at the same time.
Isn't that so funny? You know, I remember sitting in class. Oddly enough, it's been a while ago. How many years has it been, you guys? Maybe 30 some, 33 maybe. And I remember Dr. Cleveland, who's he's of the Cleveland family legacy. The Cleveland Chiropractic College is in Kansas City, by the way. People think it's in Cleveland, Ohio. And I remember him saying, who's never been adjusted before? And I was always shocked how many people raised their hands that they've not been adjusted before. So anyhow, Dr. Jess, welcome to the Small Changes, Big Shifts podcast today. And thank you again for so generously giving of your time to create this movement, to create change. And I know you have a little beaner. What's your little guy's name? Does he just turn 1 or 2?
He just turned 1. So his name's Brooks. And I want to thank you for inviting me to be a part of this movement. One of the biggest things I wanted to do is always be a bigger part of my community. So I feel like this was meant to be.
You know, what I feel like from my own experience is that we are all a community. And the healthier I am, the healthier you become, and the healthier you are, the healthier I become. And when my neighbors are out walking and being in community, it's easier for me to be out walking in community. And when my neighbors are eating healthier, when we have a potluck, not that I have potluck with my neighbors, my friends, if we're gluten-free and dairy-free, it's much easier. And so that's what this movement is about, is how can you develop a tribe? I was reminded by Dr. Ann today. She mentioned that in my last book, Small Changes, Big Shifts. Hard to believe it's, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old. And she said, you talked about these 5 things. I'm like, oh, I didn't read the book before we talked. She said, you know, part of it is your tribe, and you need to know who's in and who's not in your tribe. And these ladies have become such dear friends of mine that seriously, if you guys called me and said, I need to see you, I would figure out a way to make that happen. So thank you again. Dawn, welcome again to Small Changes, Big Shifts. What's your story, sister?
Thank you for having me. Well, my story is I've been in private practice. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I've been in private practice now for 20 years. I've also worked in community mental health. That's really where I got my start, but I've known that I wanted to do this since probably middle school or even early high school, just simply because of the interactions that I had with other girls, with relationships that everybody was having during that period of time. Somehow it just seemed that a lot of people would come and talk, and it just fascinated me. I love the stories of other people. I love helping other people. Just like Dr. Jess said, I just really enjoy learning about somebody. I enjoy hearing their stories, and I enjoy helping them troubleshoot basically their daily lives and their relationships.
You know, help people navigate, and you're such a master at it. You know, I'm thinking, if I think about how you came into our tribe, Dr. Jess, I know you came from Dr. Georgia Knabb and Dr. John Knabb, which I'm kind of follow the trail. I love to know the connection because there's such a web that we weave, and I know Dr. Jess, that's how you came in. Dawn, you came in because of Stacy Hedrick, is that her last name?
Stacy Hedrick. I just happened to meet her by chance, and she started sharing an office space with me as well. She's a counselor, and we just started sharing. And by within a couple of weeks, she mentioned the Big Shifts movement. Would anybody be interested in this? And I said, well, that sounds like something that I'd be very interested in. So it was it really spoke to me. It's something that, especially working in community mental health, I know is a huge component. The wellness factor we've been working on that and talking about that for years, and just trying to implement it on a regular basis and helping clients implement it at the level that they feel that feels possible, I think, and then encouraging more and more and more as you get momentum. And so it really spoke to me, and I was so thankful I met her. It was serendipity, I guess.
Has it just been a year? It feels like 5. But
yes, it's been a year. Just one.
Yeah, you all 3 are newbies. We got you guys kind of roped in. Dr. Kerri, I'm coming to you. I'm going to unmute you here, or you unmute yourself, I guess. Can you unmute yourself there? Yeah. So I got
Yep.
Dr. Kerri Howerton with me as well. And Kerri's also, along with Dawn, they're the wellness champion leaders for the Lee Summit group that was supposed to officially launch in May. And we got a little bit sidelined with COVID, but I'll let you guys all talk about your own groups as we continue the show. Dr. Kerri, you're a chiropractor who also loves functional medicine. What's your story?
Yeah, great question. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. So my story, like you said, I'm a traditionally trained chiropractor. But I think first and foremost, I'm a mom. And I think that's what led me into functional medicine, because like you said, we've learned about toxins, traumas, and thoughts in chiropractic school, as well as, eat well, move well, stress well, sleep well. But you see it every day, but people aren't doing it, right? So I thought, as a chiropractor, I can adjust you every day. I can make sure your nervous system is functioning well. But what happens when you take that adjustment and you drive it through the McDonald's drive-through, right? So there was that component that I was missing. So I, transitioned into the nutrition side of things, and then I was able to learn about functional medicine. Oddly enough, being a chiropractor, I had never heard of functional medicine before. So that's where kind of the transition started on how to implement those, those 3 things that we did learn in chiropractic school, because we know that body has that innate ability to heal itself, right? So how do we build on those habits and those different areas to get people well and get it to the root cause and to have lifelong, health, not just the first 30 or 40 years, but when we're 80 and 90 years old, right? So, and then I hope to teach my children that. So that's why I love the whole generational changes that the Big Shifts movement is bringing in. So.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. It's so true. As chiropractors, so many people say to me, especially years ago, now they don't say this much to me because they kind of have a little clue, because I'm mostly referral only. Occasionally someone will pop by that they have know nothing about me, and I think they're thinking, holy moly, what I step into. They're expecting a nutritional experience. And, it's important. I'm a chiropractor first, but I'm the chiropractor from the old age that believes that it does matter how you think. And the reason I post a quote a day is really, I know a lot of you send me notes and say thank you for doing that for you, and I'm doing it for you, but I'm really doing it for me, because I have a fear-based personality. I grew up with fear. I have to tell you, if I continue to, this morning I was just looked at the headline news and I almost started crying, and I thought, okay, Michelle, change the tape. And so that's part of this whole functional medicine lifestyle, but it's what you put in your body as well, because we know the nervous system controls everything, but it works because of chemistry, and you get chemistry, what you put on your body, what you put in your body, and what you put in your mind. So you're in for a special treat with these 3 ladies today. So let's talk a little bit about a couple things. Let's talk about the Wellness Consortium. Kind of what does it mean to you? And then kind of tell me about your groups. I have to tell you, we've got Dr. John and Emily, who are rock stars, helping run those. And the good news is I get to partake in it, but I actually don't have to be involved in the day-to-day. So I can't tell you. Somebody was asking me when your meeting is, Jess, today, when I was talking to Heather, my massage therapist, but I said, I don't know. So let's talk about the Wellness Consortium, why you're involved. What does it mean to you? How it's helped you in your practice? And I'm going to go to you first, Dr. Jess.
Okay, so I got involved because I want to be a bigger part of the community and meet like-minded individuals who are trying to help people feel better, and for the most part, naturally or as holistically as possible. The Midtown / Prairie Village / Brookside Wellness Consortium is every 3rd Wednesday. So our next one is October 21st. Because of the virus, we have decided to make the next meeting at Franklin Park at Somerset and Row. And so it'll be outside on October 21st at 8 a.m. It's BYOC and BYOB. So bring your own chair and bring your own beverage. We will be seated underneath the picnic area. So there are seats if you can't find one. We just don't know exactly what to expect. And we're hoping that the weather is beautiful for everyone to join us. Eventually, we'll move it to my office, but we just want to make sure that everyone's safe before we do that. And I think we have a really great group going. We're always looking for more people. I am excited about the people who have been attending, and I'm really excited to see it build in the future.
Yeah. So who? Give me an example of the type of people that are involved, because it's not a networking group. It's a building relationship group, and so what type of people should consider coming?
So we have anything from chiropractors, physical therapists, people who are in the mental health wellness world, health coaches, people who are interested in other kinds of food habits, acupuncture, what else? Massage therapy. Anyone who works with holistic, natural healthcare.
Okay, yeah. So it's if you know, we love our real estate agents, but we're not a real estate agent group or an insurance group, right? Or a banker group. Even though we do have a great new banking sponsor, I'll tell you all about. They're holistic as well. Dr. Jess, what has been one of your biggest takeaways, or one of the biggest gifts you've gotten personally or professionally out of it the last year?
You know, the biggest thing that I see, there's two actually big, huge things. I love the relationships that I've garnered from the Wellness Consortium, not just Brookside, but the entire community that comes together. You have the two citywide Wellness Consortiums each year. I always meet new people, and it's an opportunity to create those one-on-ones, because I know people throughout the city that I'm always looking for somebody to help. So it's been great in that regard. I also love the positive energy that the Wellness Consortium has. Everybody in here is just excited to help other people, and they want to make a bigger difference in this world, and they're always finding ways to pump you up and make you feel better.
Awesome. So your next meeting for the Wellness Consortium in Prairie Village, Brookside area, state line, we're going to say state line, in around mid and 80th, is October 22nd, and you're meeting at Franklin Park.
I think it's the 21st, Wednesday, October 21st.
Yeah,
at
October
8 a.m.
1st is a Wednesday, 8 a.m. Okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. And we have a citywide meeting in October 14th, with a guest speaker, Mindy Corcoran, who just got one of Kansas City's kindest citizens, because we're launching our kindness campaign. So Dr. Kerri and Dawn, I'm going to come to you first, Dr. Kerri. First of all, what has been what are your biggest gifts with the consortium the last year, personally and professionally?
Yeah, personally, I think the biggest thing, here's a little side joke. I don't know if I should look down or look up in the light.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
You know what? I look at you. They say I got a little stick in here that says look at the camera, but I never look at the camera because I want to hear you. So
I don't know what the Zoom etiquette is these days. Anyway, so for me personally, I have felt like it's been eye-opening in the fact that I'm not alone. I think sometimes the wellness world can get a little isolating, and you can feel like you're a little bit on an island. So I've loved to be able to be around people that aren't worried about the competition. They're just worried about helping people and getting people well through the things and the knowledge that we have in our heads that are meant to be out there in the public. So yeah, definitely personally, it's been just the tribe building. And then professionally, it's I've gotten to learn different things about different scopes of practice within the wellness field. I mean, being a chiropractor, I know chiropractic, I know functional medicine, but I don't know a lot about like Reiki or, different modalities like that. So when I hear about them, I can guide a patient that way, right? Because I don't do mental health. Everybody seems to need it these days, but then I have a good resource and I have somebody that I can trust to send them to.
Oh, that's good. And I also got to bring it up. I believe that you have a medical doctor in your family too.
Yes, my husband's an ER doctor, so I got a lot of good stories for you sometime.
Yeah. Like I said, I had that call with Dr. Ann today, and she's 20 years at ER doc, just went functional medicine. And, I want people to know that it's not about you against me. We're in this together. Just news flash, no one gets out of this journey alive. It's just how much life can you have when you're in it. And I love this group that we're coming together and we're locking arms and we're really supporting each other. So I'm glad you brought up that tri part. Dawn, how about you? What has been some of your personal and professional takeaways?
Well, I have to say professionally, it's been very, just joining something new that I wasn't exactly sure how big it was. I wasn't exactly sure what to expect, but joining immediately, the welcoming was incredible. And so the amount of connections that I was able to make just in the first few meetings, which were rather large, being able to mingle so personally in such a large group, pre-COVID, obviously, but I mean, it was last year, and it was amazing to talk to other people who already know sort of the scope that you're into, the wellness industry. And so starting in the conversations and asking the questions, it just seemed to flow even easier. You're already, looking for certain things and certain connections. So the connections have been wonderful. I have met so many good business connections as well as personal ones. But so on the flip side of that, then the personal is absolutely, like Dr. Jess said, it is one of the most warm communities I've experienced, and it blew me away. It's not something that I have ever experienced in other business connections that I've had before. And so it's really nice to have an entire group of like-minded individuals that are looking for similar things, helping people feel well and live day to day in a better way. And it's just, I enjoy it. I'm really enjoying it. And I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Live day to day a better way. That's a good little tagline, isn't it?
Hey, I might have to use that.
Yeah, I like it. If you're somebody tuning into the show right now and you've been to a wellness consortium, I'd love for you to put in the notes and in the comments kind of what your takeaway's been. What I hear from a lot of people is that sometimes when you think like we think, and some people would call it a little woo-woo, which I think it's woo-woo that we would cut our body and take pills when we know that it has an ability to heal. Not that I'm against taking pills. I don't want you to hear that. I'm not against going to the doctor, having surgeries if you need it, because God knows I've had to go to the hospital myself. But sometimes people are so scared of taking a magnesium vitamin or having an adjustment, yet they'll go have things cut on. And it doesn't make sense to me, but I've been brainwashed very well through this movement. But people will say to me, what I love is I don't have to explain. People don't look at me like with three eyes when I say what is Reiki and what is feng shui. They're kind of all in to tell me more about it and how it works. So when does your group, you guys kind of had a little bit of a false start because of COVID. Sure. Now, I believe you guys are officially off the ground and running. When's your group meeting next?
We meet the third Tuesday. Lease Summit meets the third Tuesday of every month. So I believe the next one would be the day before Dr. Jess's on October 20th at 8:30. We are looking at a couple of places here in Lease Summit. We are almost secured in location, but I'm afraid to do that without a full confirmation. And I'm afraid to put that out there quite yet. But I guess it's October 20th is our first looking towards in-person rather than virtual event.
Okay, with some social distancing. So for those of you we're being
appropriate social distancing with all of the guidelines. And we have right now, again, we're a startup group, so we're still building. We're still building our consortium. So I believe that we can accomplish that with all of the appropriate protections that we need to take.
Yeah, and so you'll see that in the show notes here about where those consortiums are. We can go to, actually, I can put that on the screen here, at Your Wellness Connection, Wellness Consortium, and there's a lot of information on that page. And give a shout out. Hey, we have a new Chief Marketing Officer at Your Wellness Connection, Desiree, and you guys are going to absolutely love her. Her guy Zach, behind the scenes with me for I don't even know how long. I feel like forever. I always joke that if something happens to him, I'm going to have to retire because he makes everything happen. So Zach and Desiree, I love you. Thank you for helping us spread this message of goodness. All right. So we've got October 21st. October 20th Lee Summit. You can find that on the shows. We have a citywide group with our consortium. I said on October 14th, and we're going to have Mindy Corcoran, who's got a fabulous story. And I want to tell you why we picked Mindy is I'm working with Lockton, and they're sponsoring a kindness campaign, and we're launching it on October 14th. And the goal is to do 31 days of I'm going to say it's a kindness campaign where you have an opportunity. It's not a challenge. You have an opportunity to be kind to yourself, kind to your neighbors, kind to your community, kind to your animals, kind to your kids, just to kind of shift what's entering. I have to tell you, I'm really concerned about the state of people's mental well-being right now. We're coming through a dark time, and we're still in a dark time. When you look at it, typically we in the Midwest, we have winter, and people are a little bit more dark. Seasonal affective disorders impacts people, their mental well-being. And then we come into spring and we start to come back to life, kind of like a plant. And then we have summer and we kind of get our bucket filled back up with light. And then we start to go through the dark time again. And that's the evolution, the seasonality of especially living in the Midwest. And this year, because of the Black Lives Matter, the COVID-19 pandemic, the mental health crisis that we had before the pandemic, and now it's even ramped up. I've got some statistics that we can share with you as well. We're in trouble, and who's really suffering is not just people of our age or different ages. We've got different generations, but our kids are suffering, and so they need us to be the light. And so I'm working with my team at Lockton with the whole team, but really Stacey Engelman and Brooke Runyon. And we're on a mission to reach 1 million people through this kindness campaign. And I'm hoping you'll join me. You'll be able to find it right here to take part. You can sign up. The sign up page just came out because of our fabulous behind the scene team. And we'll be having kindness quotes. So every quote from October 14th through November 13th will all be about kindness. And we'll be telling kindness stories, and we'll give you a kindness opportunity as well. I want to tell you, I think my team's hit it out of the ballpark. I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to one of our other champions, Ann Kuntz. And Ann Kuntz came to me a few years ago and said, we really need to do a kindness thing. And I'm like, Ann, you do it. I've got too many things I'm doing right now. And so we did a 21 day, and I'm so grateful that she pushed me to do that, because we had started on the content and we've taken the last 6 weeks to beef it up. So you're going to really enjoy it. Our podcast guests in the month of October and early November will all be people that are known for kindness around the country as well. So I'm inviting all of you to join me. If you're needing a tribe and you're a wellness practitioner of some sort, like I said, MD, chiropractor, PT, a massage therapist, esthetician, Reiki, I would encourage you to join the movement that we're creating so that people can find you. I imagine in my mind's eye is that if I meet somebody at the grocery store today, and my grocery store is also less than a mile away. How do you love that? But when I go to the grocery store, I'm not sure about you ladies, but I typically see somebody I know. And I want to tell you, they may not admit it, but they look at my cart. I look at my cart to see if I have 5 letters. So true. You know what the 5-letter F word is?
Fraud.
Does she have Twinkies in her cart or whatever? I don't have Twinkies in there. I do have some chocolate sometimes, and I do have potato chips in there sometimes, but you won't see me with bagels and donuts and things like that. So there's little things like that. So I have some magic questions I love to ask on this show, and I'm gonna I'm not sure if you guys have ever had a chance to tune in. I don't know. And I don't care. I love you. I appreciate everything, every single minute you give to this movement. But one of my questions is, what's your medicine? And I believe that's everybody has medicine that was innately put inside of us to share. And I'm curious, Dawn, do you know your medicine? What is the medicine that you think that got put in your heart to share with the world?
To share with other people, it's It's actually to slow down a little bit. It's to pay attention to yourself. It's to have a little more awareness and then understand why you do the things you do, because you don't always have to do the same things to get the same results. Sometimes our relationships set those things up for us and cause obstacles for us to find new ways to be. But that's the biggest thing, is just to support, encourage, and give warmth to other people. Spread sunshine, I guess, is sort of my my healing therapy, I guess.
Well, you do that. I'm not sure I've ever seen you not smiling. Would you guys agree? Have you ever seen Dawn not smiling?
Well, it's just part of it. It just comes naturally, and it's just one of those ways that when I see somebody, it's the first thing I do. Is that's to connect, I believe, and it's been there forever, as long as I can remember. But thank you for commenting on it.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting. The Big Shifts Foundation, which we talked about just briefly, Big Shifts Foundation is a foundation to make generational change 5 to 30-year-olds, if you did not hear that earlier. Mm-hmm. And we've got some exciting things going on right now. And one of them is we've partnered with Cynthia Newsom, and she started a foundation a couple of years ago, not-for-profit, called Awesome Ambitions. What a great name, Awesome Ambition. And they work with a lot of girls in the city to get them college ready. Okay. Yeah. And we just launched their year, and I was with Cynthia's team where there was, I think, about 80 girls and some moms on a call on Saturday. We're doing it via Zoom every Saturday. And through our foundation, 2 of our board members, Alex McAnderson and Grace Yasmin, they are taking them through some of our little snackables. And so when you think about snackables, one of the snackables they're going to do this week, by the way, is about smiling. That's a snackable. So we have a little card that talks about smiling and how it shifts people. So that's one of your gifts. Speaking of shifting, I want to give a shout out to our one of our newest sponsors for the consortiums, as well as for this podcast, Advent Health KC. And you go to adventhealthkc.com. And they've been a great partner of mine for years. And about trying to, if I needed to find somebody for a kid to go to that had a cyst on his tailbone, and it was very painful. So I was able to email one of their provider people and say, hey, I need a surgeon for this kid. And they were able to direct him. And they said, Michelle, just give us a number. We'll call them. And so I want to give a shout out to Advent Health for always being a go-to. I can even tell you a story. I want to tell you another story about Advent Health. There was one time I was in my practice, and I had a patient that came to see me, and yes, I'm a chiropractor and sometimes a psychochiropractor, but this young lady came to see me, and she actually was having kind of a mental breakdown. And so we looked at her holistically, and she was getting acupuncture. And then sometimes at one point, about a week, 2 or 3 weeks into her care, she was very suicidal, and she even had a plan. Mm-hmm. And so my acupuncturist came to get me, and she said, Michelle, this person has a plan. Mm-hmm. And so oddly enough, I just was able to reach out to my friend Shannon at Advent Health and say, Shannon, I need some help. And she happened to it was just a total home run. I will never forget your kindness. So Advent Health KC, tomorrow they have their big Live in Vitality event, which I've been involved with for, probably 23 of the 23 years they've had, maybe 22, maybe not all. And and they have their Live in Vitality event tomorrow. I'm going to encourage you to go to Advent Health KC. There's my dog saying hi. She's saying join us. adventhealthkc.com/live, and you can learn more about that. All right, Kerri, what's your medicine?
Yeah, that's a great question. So just a little background to it. So I grew up not thinking I needed relationships with women. I make better friends with guys, right? We've all kind of heard that saying before. So I feel like my medicine, now that I'm in my 40s and I'm a mother of 2 boys, is bringing women together in tribe formation, and not just to gossip and him and haw about this or that. I mean, some of it's, getting that stress off your back, but a lot of it is empowering women to find their power, right? Their purpose, their passions. I mean, I'm pretty sure that a lot of women are stay-at-home moms, but that isn't fulfilling them, right? So letting them be okay with that not being the only thing, and then trying to dig deeper. So that's really, I've found that within, the past year or so, that's really a good medicine for me.
I think that's so true. Women, we need tribe. And I'm part of a women's business group in Kansas City. And I remember, 17, 18 years ago, where a lot of people that were running companies, they didn't have time for anything besides their family and their job.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we've been building this women's community that can really get some shift done, if you know what I mean. So I love that you're finding that is one part of your medicine. Dr. Jess, what's your medicine?
I have so many.
Oh, good. Well, you can say a couple.
Well, I really love to be a part of a team. So basically, working with groups to do shifts. So basically, the same thing that Dr. Kerri was talking about, empowering people. But when I'm a part of those groups, I notice that people enjoy the effort and the satisfaction of getting done with whatever we've accomplished when you give them a moment of soapbox. So supporting them, giving them their minute to shine when they've done something well, and I enjoy doing that. I like to give people positive feedback and letting them have their moment to shine. I also love to paint, and I just don't get to do it very often anymore because, school and professional work and marketing and all that kind of stuff. Business takes first right now, and family, obviously. And then my last, and what?
And a 1-year-old.
Yes, and a 1-year-old. And my last thing that I absolutely love to do is relax and socialize with people. And I think that makes a huge difference, as well. I mean, our friendships are huge. And I think people sometimes forget about their friendships and push them aside because we've got too many things going on in life. And I think friendship makes ourselves feel better. It makes us feel better because we're making other people feel better. And so there's a lot that grows from that.
So, it's interesting. I feel like we're actually having a cup of tea together, or in my case, I'm drinking some hint water. And just having a great conversation. And hopefully the people that have been listening in today have gotten a couple ahas, and I want them to leave them thinking about what's your medicine and how can you give more of your medicine to the world so that we can help get through this. We will get through this time. And I just want you to get through this time as whole as possible. So as we wrap up the show, I've got 3 questions left. I'm going to give you 2, and then we'll come back for the last one. The question is there something that I did not ask you that you want to share? That's part A. And part B is, how can people find you? Dawn, you're going first.
Me first. Okay. No, I think this has been a great conversation. I've really enjoyed being here. And mingling with all of you ladies. So I think the best way is to just let people know how to find me. You can find me on my website at dhoodtherapy.com, D for Dawn, hoodtherapy.com. And you can email me. You can also find me on Psychology Today, and you can Google or look up my name on Psychology Today and it'll pop up. But I'd be happy to speak with anybody. Hello and welcome. Thank you.
Awesome. How about you, Dr. Kerri? How can people find you? And then is there something that I didn't ask you about your rebel group?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Rebel Tribe has been rebranded and renamed to Wild Collective, and it's a women's initiative to help. It's a 10 module program that we meet every month, and we talk about a different area. So my thyroid or my vagina or my breast, like those are all modules. So educating women about different aspects of their health, and then trying to teach them how to utilize that inner power and that divine feminine. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up. You can find me Instagram, Facebook, Modern Health KC. The ifm.org has my listing there with my contact information. So keeping it simple.
modernhealthkc.org. And that'll be in the show notes. If you're listening to this on the podcast, if you're on Facebook with us right now, they'll put those in the show notes after the show so you can find them as well and ask them questions. I'd encourage you to go follow their platforms. They're doing some good stuff. Dr. Jess, Okay. Is there something that you want to share that I didn't ask you?
The only thing I was thinking about maybe sharing is that I also do a lot of advocacy for chiropractic. So if there's any chiropractors listening, I would love it if you would contact me to get more involved. We always need great leaders for promoting chiropractic care and helping our patients. And then to find me, I'm at immunitykc.com, and then all of my handles on Facebook, social media, Instagram. I'm ImmunityKC as well, and then on LinkedIn it's Dr. Jess Loveless.
Great. Such a fun conversation. I'm going to come back to you with a quote to help wrap up the show. I would remind you all about our kindness campaign. You can go to this link on Facebook. It'll also be in the show notes to sign up for that. The page is live right now, so you can get signed up, and we'll start October 14th. But hey, if you want to start early, you go right ahead. Start spreading the good. And then also, too, I want to go to the Big Shifts Foundation. And I would encourage you to go to that. We are actually in the process with I've got this rock star team with Big Shifts Foundation, our board, but plus our executive administrative assistant, Emily Algeier, who is helping us launch a scholarship program. And that scholarship program, the applications will open up. We're going to take 10, 18 to 30-year-olds, Black or brown, people to help with health disparities and help them get access to whole person health care. It is a fabulous program we put together for 6 months. I just got the green light from Hoffman Process today, where they're going to donate 50% off for the Hoffman Essentials experience for each of the 10 students. So I'm so happy about that. Literally got that call right before this. So you can follow us on that movement. If you're saying, gosh, you know what, I want my money to matter, and you feel like you want to give a donation and maybe help us with one of those scholarships, feel free to go to bigshifts.org. I'd be grateful. But you know what, I know that this is the right work to be doing. So thanks everybody for that. All right, ladies, we're going to wrap up the show. First of all, I want to tell you, I see you, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I love you. Thank you for stepping into this movement over the last year. You have added so much value and friendship to my life. I am so grateful. And your communities, I hope they value what you're bringing to the Lee Summit community and the Prairie Village, Brookside community. You're doing good work. So, all right. So, who has a quote? Anybody have a quote they want to share?
Do we have an RBG quote?
Anybody got a quote?
I don't have an RBG one, but I do have one. The best quote that I've ever used with most of my clients is "Happily ever after is lived on a day-to-day basis." And so what you put in your day-to-day adds up to your week-to-week, and what you put in your week-to-week adds up to your month, and then that becomes your year. And so happiness is lived on a day-to-day basis. So celebrate whatever you can each and every day.
Love it.
I'm thinking about Liz Donnelly's quote, "In the end, only kindness matters." I think that's a song by Jewel. How about you, Kerri? You got a quote on top of your head?
Yeah, I always like a little League of Their Own quote from Tom Hanks, but oh gosh, I just had it. I lost it. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Hard is what makes it great. So.
I have not heard that one in a while. Dr. Jess, how about you?
I'm looking for Ruth Bader Ginsburg quote. I feel like we should honor her today.
I agree.
I posted one yesterday on social media.
There's so many great ones. And the thing that I love is that there was one thing, the gentle like a bomb, not like a flower, or something like that. Fragile like a bomb, not like a flower, or something gentle. That's what we are all here to do, is make a movement.
And we're doing it. You guys are helping us do that for our kids, so that we can make a difference. When I lay down, and whether it's one day from now or 1 year or 5 years, and I'm with our Creator, I want to know that I used every single bit of talent that was given to me innately. And I always laugh because I was never the sharpest tack in the box, and I'm thinking God's going to say, "Holy sugar, how did you pull all that out of that?" So we're blessed. And I'm so grateful for you guys. In our movement with the Wellness Consortium, we have a couple rules. We call it LTRs, lifetime relationships, and one is showing up. So thank you all for showing up today for me. Our guest actually had to cancel, and so I put it out to our champions. And this is actually so much more fun than sometimes just because I know you guys, and I get to see you often and talk to you often. So I feel like we're just a bunch of girlfriends talking. And the second one is be go-givers. And you're really, you are go-givers. You embody that with Bob Berg. He talks about being go-givers. And the other one is really do one-on-ones. And I've had the privilege, Dawn, I'm not sure I've had a one-on-one with you, Dawn. I've had one with Jess and Kerri. We need to have one of those. Some one-on-ones. And the other one is celebrate each other. Celebrate the good work. And so we're celebrating you today. Here's my quote. And I actually have a deck. And sometimes I find a quote before the show off the internet, and sometimes I pick a quote. And today I decided to pick a quote since it was three of you, and it's a perfect quote. And it's by Mother Teresa, who is she's like our Rbg, right? Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And so blessings to her family right now as they celebrate the magnificent life that she led. And I was thinking this morning, Dr. Jess, as I'm working with our new sponsor, Community America Bank, on refinancing my house, and I was thinking I could not have done that without somebody like Ruth, that I can sign that note. I could not have the business because there's not a man signing. How crazy is that? Whoa. Anyhow, here's my quote by Mother Teresa, and you guys are all living this. Go out into the world today and love the people you meet. Let your presence light new light in the hearts of others. Thank you for lighting my life up today. Hopefully all of you listening today, you get a little more pep in your step. Go out and make a difference. All right. Love you all. I sure appreciate you listening to Small Changes, Big Shifts. If you go to the website, smallchangesbigshifts.com, we'll have the show notes ready for you there. If this episode inspired you to make a small change that will lead to a big shift, please share with a friend. You can catch our episode on Apple, Google, Spotify, YouTube, and our website. And if you feel like it, please leave a rating or a comment. Be sure to subscribe so you can catch our episode next week. Blessings to you.